Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. So in this video, I want to talk about Black Ops 4 multiplayer because I really like this game. I really do enjoy it. And of course with any Call of Duty game, there's going to be still some issues after the first month that they still have to fix. And that's basically what this video is going to be about. Black Ops 4 is a game that I enjoy and I play. Mainly I play multiplayer, of course. That's my main sort of thing out of the Blackout multiplayer and zombies. And I'm going to talk about what they've fixed because they've done so many big patch updates. 1.04, 1.05, 1.07. Those are all very big patch notes. 1.06 was kind of just bug fixes. So right now they sort of mentioned in their last patch notes how they're trying to settle into a meta. So I want to talk about, as of right now, what I think still should be fixed, addressed, or looked at in Black Ops 4 just to make this multiplayer experience the best possible because it already is a good game, but there is some things that can be improved. And I made a video basically critiquing the DLC system, which I think the DLC and the black market system is absolutely awful in this game as of right now, but I don't think the multiplayer is awful, and I think people that are saying that would probably be, I mean, you know, to each their own, but I like the multiplayer in this game, so that's what we're going to talk about. If you guys could smash a like on this video, the likes have been going absolutely crazy. Like, you guys have just been killing the likes. It's been amazing. Every time I've been hitting 1,000 likes, I've been uploading another video, and I've been producing a ton of videos, so if we could do the same on this, smash out 1,000 likes on this thing. I know when you guys are watching this, it's probably either early morning for you guys or like the middle of the night, super, because I'm making this as a late night video. But if you guys all could just hit that like button, that'd be amazing. Then another video would come out probably early tomorrow. So smash that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. And let's talk about this because I wrote down some notes of some stuff that I want to talk about as far as just general stuff to do with the multiplayer that I think that if I was at Treyarch, I would still be talking about fixing and stuff. So the first is gun balance. Now, what I wrote down on my notes about gun balance is that within the tiers of weapons, the gun balance is pretty good, but from tier to tier, it's absolutely horrible. And what I mean by that is, so within a tier, so for example, if you take the 5 assault rifles, all 5 of those assault rifles are pretty even to each other. They could all compete with each other. There's not one standout that is the worst. There's not one standout that's the extreme best. I'd probably say the Maddox is the best, but you know, the ICR, the Vapor, the KN, the Rampart, these things are right behind it. So within the assault rifles, the balancing I think is good. Same with the tactical rifles. SMGs not so much, but where this game really goes wrong, I think, is the difference between using a tactical rifle, an AR, or an LMG versus an SMG. SMGs in this game, because of how the game works, when they changed a huge gameplay mechanic, changing it from 100 health, like every other Call of Duty game, up to 150 health, SMGs, of course, are gonna feel like you're shooting, you know, pellets or something, because you're going to have to hit them like 8 or 9 times sometimes with these SMGs to actually do 150 damage, which is absolutely crazy. And I still think even after nerfing the assault rifles, buffing the SMGs, it's really not enough because of the fact that the ARs just have such fast fire rates. I mean, the Maddox has a faster fire rate than a lot of, like, some of the SMGs. So it's like, you know, what really is the point on these SMGs? I really think when it comes down to it, they need to go in and change the recoil patterns and the actual, I mean, potentially the damage, but probably just the recoil patterns and different things around the SMGs, because I think that the SMGs, as they work as of right now, they're just never really gonna be super duper relevant. And with the way the maps are in this game, the maps probably favor SMGs, but as of right now, I only use SMGs on like Summit. I use it on Contraband occasionally. I will use it on Morocco, but you know what I mean. SMGs are still underpowered. On the PC, I think they're pretty balanced. That's what I'm hearing as feedback from PC players. One of my good buddies plays on PC. He says the Spitfire is best gun in the game on PC with the laser sight. But on console, I just think that, yeah, Spitfire is a good gun. The SOG 9mm is a good gun. But overall, if you put up a team of 5 SMGs, pro players versus a team of 5 assault rifle pro players, I think the assault rifle, you know, depending on the map and stuff, the assault rifle players would probably smack them around on something like firing range, and that just proves, you know, Treyarch has the stats. I'm sure the general stats of something like a weaker SMG are of course a lot lower. Now the SMGs aren't as bad as they were when this game first came out. I don't want to say like the SMGs need a huge buff and everything like that, but they need some sort of rework. They need to, you know, they need to go in and deal with those, and I think that's probably one of the major issues as far as this game goes, because they can do good, but when it comes down to it, if money's on the line, if you're picking your best class up, most of the time it's going to be an AR. Next thing is LMGs having no flinch. Now, this is another issue, and in this video, I'm going to talk about all issues everyone's talking about, not just the stuff that favors me, you know, because I like to use the Titan. But basically, LMGs in this game have little to no flinch built in as sort of an incentive for people to pick LMGs, because in previous COD games, people would avoid them. It's like, why would you want an LMG? It's just a bigger magazine, but slower in every other way compared to an assault rifle. But in this game, because of that, because of how strong the Titan is, even after all of those nerfs, the LMGs are pretty strong, and I think that they could be doing some sort of flinch changes to something like the Titan to balance it. I don't know if I would like that or not, but I'm just being honest about things that are overpowered and something that they could make a change on. Next is one thing that really bothers me about the multiplayer, probably the most annoying thing, is the randomness of specialists. That a lot of these specialist abilities, you know, I'm totally cool if the guy pulls out the pistol, annihilator pistol, whatever, and hits a nice shot on me, or even the Tempest or something like that. But a lot of these just like calling in dogs, or basically just placing down the microwave, they're basically free kill. They're walking the line between specialist abilities you can earn versus straight up support free kill streaks, and that's a really, really fine line right there. And I do think that with these specialists, I mean, it's too late as of right now, but they're not going to nerf these things. But it really does suck when, you know, you can be going off, you could be 50-0, and the other player can be 0-20, and he still gets that free Nomad Dog, which could rush you and kill you. I don't know if there's any solution for the BS and randomness of specialists. Obviously, the reason why they do this is to get more appeal to the game and, you know, to help newer players, casual players get free kills and stuff, which has to be in there, you know, so people, you know, draw into the franchise and that new players enjoy the game. But hey, I started back in, well, like I played like COD 4 right before MW2 came out, but MW2 was like my first full-on like life cycle Call of Duty. And, you know, when everyone starts, even if you're getting destroyed, most people like the game. You know, back when I was there was no skill-based matchmaking. There was none of this garbage specialist or support streaks on MW2, and it was just straight up, you know, you play the game. And I think even people that get nuked on, it makes them want to be, you know, certain people makes them want to quit, of course. Certain people makes them want to get better and play more. But that's just one thing that I've talked about with that. Next is the perks. Now, I really do have a problem with the perks. Gung Ho dominates the second perk. There's no reason to pick anything else. Dead Silence and Ghost dominate the third perk. Perk 1's the only one that's competitive, and there's only like 5 or like 6 like 4, 5 or 6 options for the perks on each slot. I mean, the perks in this game were done horribly, and it's too late to add other perks unless that's something they would do new. They've never done that before. But balance these, go in there and actually rebalance these perks. Go in and do a complete rework, because a lot of the perks don't even do what they say they do. Dexterity doesn't work like they say it works. A lot of stuff only give you partial counters, which still end up with you dying. So it doesn't really matter, you know, if you stay alive an extra 3 seconds if you're still gonna end up dying to the streak. So I really do think that perks is one thing, and I'm someone that excuse me, is really into the create a class as far as this game goes. Of course, if you watch my channel, a lot of it is to do with creative classes, the best class setups, and, you know, tips and tricks and stuff. So I'm really into the multiplayer and using best guns. And let me tell you, man, the perks, I mean, they're just, there's certain perks that are you need, and the other perks that are just useless. And that's sort of, I think, you know, go in there, buff tracker, rework squad link. You know, there's a bunch of stuff in there that could be done, engineer even, that I think should be done. I think perks need to be changed, and that needs to be a big deal. Another thing with the creative class, equipment. No one in a public match, a casual game, will run equipment, because you have to use 1 point. So you use one of your pick 10, plus it takes over your specialist ability, and the majority of the time, the specialist abilities or the special issue equipment, excuse me, not specialist ability, you know what I'm talking about, the right side of the specialist that you use, that one is usually better than the equipment you would use anyway. So it's kind of just ridiculous there. I think that's just set up for competitive Call of Duty, and that's something that should be fixed as well. And once again, this video isn't complaining. Like, I think this is a very small list of complaints. If I was doing this on a different game, you know, this video might be 30 minutes or an hour long. You know, this game is amazing, but these are things that are just the smallest, simplest changes can make the world of difference in a game. I remember IW, the beta, the game was just bad. The gun balance was awful, and then they reworked it within the 2 or 3 weeks before the game came out, and when the game came out, it was completely different. The gun balance was different. It was a lot better. So if they take small issues and small changes, they can make the game a lot better. Some other things I wrote down here is add more variants, add more operator mods. I think that's probably coming, and knowing Activision and what they're going to do to Treyarch, they're probably going to try to sell that as DLC. But that's one thing that I think every gun should have operator mods. You should have multiple choices for operator mods, and I hope that's in the plans for what's going to happen this year. And then my next thing is the game modes menu. It's cool how they do it with the featured game modes rotating and all that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, they're sort of a lot of the casual players or noobs will just pick that first featured game mode. So right now I think it's TDM 100, and they're basically rotating that, and they're hiding some of the other game modes like Domination. They're a little bit harder to find for your casual players, your first time players, so they're sort of directing a lot of the casual players or the noob players into those featured playlists, and it sort of depends on what the featured playlists are for that week, for what sort of gameplays you're going to get and different stuff like that. So I mean, I like the system of the featured modes. I think those are cool, but I think normal modes like Domination, normal Control, normal Hardpoint, normal whatever should be a little bit easier to access on the menu just for those brand new players. That's about it, guys. That's not that big of a deal, but that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your concerns. Let me know in the comment section down below some things positive that you like about this game and some things you think could use a work in the next patch. That's basically it. My opinions on the multiplayer is it's really, really good. Fix these couple of things, and I'm sure I missed some other issues you guys can talk about in the description down below. I know there's a glitch also with the created classes where like created class 6 through like the latter part of your created classes, the special issue won't work on certain ones, so stay away from those setups. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, subscribe. I don't know if that glitch is still going on to this day, but it was happening like a week or two ago for me. And that's about it, guys. Have a great night, and I'm out. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out some of my other videos. Drop a like, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace out.